Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. The U.S. Supreme Court has issued a significant ruling concerning presidential authority, according to GI Press. In a 6-3 decision, the court's conservative majority upheld President Donald Trump's power to fire officials within independent government agencies, asserting that such subordinates who exercise executive power are subject to presidential removal. Supporters view this as a necessary expansion of executive control, while dissenters argue it undermines the separation of powers and could lead to administrative instability. However, in a separate case involving Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, the court ruled 5-4 to protect the central bank's independence. The justices determined that while the president may fire Fed governors for cause, he cannot do so without proper justification or procedural due process. The court emphasized that both the reality and the appearance of independence are vital for the Federal Reserve's function as a nonpartisan financial institution. This narrow decision prevents the immediate removal of Governor Cook, ensuring the stability of U.S. monetary policy while maintaining institutional check. According to NBC News, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of San Francisco has agreed to a landmark $395 million settlement with approximately 530 survivors of childhood sexual abuse by clergy and other church employees. Announced by plaintiffs' attorneys in the Archdiocese, the agreement represents the largest per-survivor settlement ever reached in a bankruptcy involving a Catholic diocese, averaging roughly $745,000 per person. Beyond the financial payout, the settlement mandates significant child protection and transparency reforms. Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone must hand over internal church records to an independent consultant, appoint an abuse survivor to the Archdiocese Review Board, release victims from existing non-disclosure agreements, and publish a list of clergy members accused of abuse. The wave of lawsuits was enabled by the California Child Victims Act of 2019, which temporarily lifted the statute of limitations for childhood sexual abuse claims. While the Archdiocese and the Creditors Committee have reached an agreement, the proposal still requires approval from each survivor and final sign-off from U.S. bankruptcy judge Dennis Montalique. NHK reports that a deadly and intense heat wave is spreading from Western Europe to the eastern parts of the continent. On Sunday, a town in eastern Germany recorded a scorching daytime high of 41.7 degrees Celsius, while temperatures in Hungary and Poland also surpassed the 40-degree mark. The extreme heat has sparked environmental consequences, including wildfires in Croatia and Albania. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1,300 excess deaths linked to the extreme temperatures have been recorded across Europe since June 21. Experts note that many residential buildings, schools, and hospitals in the region lack air conditioning, as only about 20% of European households had such cooling systems as of 2022. The World Meteorological Organization warns that due to global warming, heat waves of this nature are likely to occur more frequently, last longer, and strike with greater intensity in the coming years. According to Sinchu Daily, Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao and EU Trade Commissioner Maro Šefčovič co-chaired the inaugural meeting of the China-EU Trade and Investment Consultation Mechanism in Brussels. The two sides officially established the mechanism, which features 4 subsectors: trade and investment balance, export control, intellectual property, and the World Trade Organization, along with a joint monitoring system for trade data. During the discussions, Wang Wentao emphasized that China is not the root of the economic problems facing the EU, but rather a partner in solving them. He urged the EU to address China's concerns regarding trade restrictions and security laws to prevent escalating trade frictions. Conversely, Šefčovič highlighted that the current widening trade deficit with China is unsustainable. he expressed hope for substantive progress in trade negotiations before his planned visit to Beijing in October. Additionally, Wang Wentao met with German Economic Minister Robert Habeck prior to the EU talks, where both nations agreed to restart the Sino-German Joint Economic Committee to deepen cooperation in trade, investment, and artificial intelligence. According to a report by UPI, a powerful parcel bomb exploded in a residential building in Monaco, seriously injuring one of Ukraine's wealthiest businessmen, Vadym Yermolaiev, along with his partner and his 13-year-old son. The blast occurred on Monday evening in the Place des Moulins residential district, close to the French border. Yermolaiev, 58, and his partner are reportedly in critical condition at a hospital in Nice, France, while 4 others were treated for shock and injuries from flying glass. Prince Albert II of Monaco condemned the attack and stated that state services are working closely with French authorities to investigate. Closed-circuit television footage from the lobby captured a suspect leaving a backpack shortly before the explosion and fleeing on foot toward the French town of Beausoleil. Yermolaiev, whose fortune was estimated at $220 million in 2021, resettled on the French Riviera following Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. In December 2023, Ukraine imposed personal sanctions on Yermolaiev over alleged tax payments made to Russia by his alcohol business interests in occupied Crimea. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.